Hi guys! It's February the 1st, so today I will be working on the February Lego print. I've made it a goal to have a new print up on my store every month. In January we had Make Each Day Count, which I felt was a good sentiment to start the new year. This month we're gonna have something more illustrative with no text. I already have the sketch done. Let me just show you. This is it. I'm gonna go for a full print. Kind of like my ladybug piece. I like that kind of style with the border and with just like full details. I'm gonna have two lobsters and they're gonna have a heart in the middle. The idea is basically of the quote, "You are my lobster" from Friends. I really like that sentiment. So yeah, this is what we're gonna do for Valentine's Day. I think we'll make a cute card as well, but yeah, currently we're gonna make it an A3 poster. Along the sides, we'll have some seashells and bubbles. I'm quite excited about having the lobsters integrate with the border, so that's pretty cute to me. I hope it comes out as well when I'm setting the Lego, which I'm gonna do now. So yeah, come along. First things first, flip your design. Flip your design so that when you set it, it'll be printed in the reverse way, the way that you actually meant it to be.
White is crab fur. Yours is too like C. These two parts need to come up more, or it needs to go up.
My husband is working in the other room, so I moved rooms for a while so I can talk to you guys about where I'm at. I'm currently done with the two lobsters and the heart. If you saw the time lapse, it took me a couple of tries to figure out the lobster claws. My husband made quite an accurate observation, which was that lobster claws, they're long and not wide like crabs. So I tried to do that here. I ran into a bit of an issue making this part long just because it cuts into the heart shape. Overall, I think so far that's pretty good. I just hope they don't look like scorpions is what I'm hoping. You could see that because my sketch was just square pixels, I took a long time to kind of work out all the curves. It's not the most efficient way of working, I would guess, but I like that way of working, so that's what I do. Hopefully I'll finish it tonight. Today I'm going to be printing. Let me show you what that looks like. Basically, I have the two lobsters with a heart in the middle. Then I filled out the rest of the print with like seashells and some bubbles and some corals or seaweed. And then some little hearts as well. So we're gonna print this. So I've already given it like one pass with the wet wipe. This is to remove any oil from my fingers or any dirt. Now I'm gonna straighten up the tiles with a ruler. I do this every time before I print, and even between prints, I will just make sure that the bricks that I want straight are straight before I put ink on them. Usually once it's this consistency, I will stop and try to put that on the blocks and see how it goes. But yeah, you kind of want to get this like sticky-ish, like kind of orange peely texture. And I think it changes from this to dry really fast, so you gotta work quite quick. Like this is pretty good to me. Like it's mostly all staying on the blocks where I put it. So I'm happy with the consistency of that. You're gonna have spots like this in the middle where ink isn't really ruling well. You're gonna need a soft roller so that you can press into the blocks to make sure that those pieces are covered. You gotta work quite fast because you don't want the ink to kind of dry out on the block as well. You want it to be sticky or relatively damp when you put the paper on so that it will adhere well. But with this piece, since I'm putting a lot of ink, it does seem like it's drying out already quite fast. So yeah, let me just work a bit quicker. I like prints like this because my edge of the roller is usually always going to be on a block and it won't be touching. So sometimes it'll touch like here, it will go to the bottom, but for most of it, it's staying on the blocks. So clean up before I print is not going to be too difficult. Okay. Okay, I already kind of saw that the ink is a little dry. So let me show you guys what that looks like. Now what I'll do is that I'll try and put as much pressure as I can to see how much ink I can get transferred. And then I will go in with a spoon. And then only if the spoon doesn't do the amount of coverage that I want, I'm going to go in with more ink to patch that up. Alright, here's the spoon, so let's go. So you'll see, like, for example, the heart is not printed. I'll just go in and press it up. And you get more coverage with that. Yeah, I'll just do that for the whole image. You might want to work from top to bottom or from the sides in. The reason I go from the sides is so that I don't expose the rest of the ink inside and dry that out even quicker. When your ink is dry, the worst thing that can happen is your paper shifts while you're printing. So I like to hold down my paper like this and print like this in between my fingers so that it doesn't shift as much as it can. It doesn't work all the time, but yeah. A lot of people have been asking me like, oh, my print comes out patchy. My print comes out patchy, guys. My print comes out patchy too. I'm gonna go ahead and add another layer because dry ink is not a good look in my books. I don't like that the ink looks dry. So I'm just gonna top that off. Usually once I'm done with like half of it and I try and do the other half, the ink is already dry. So what I'll do is that I will go in with more ink just to make it easier to work with. So you can see like this section that looks pretty good now. Then we'll slowly move over and do the rest of the top. So I have this realization after printing, which happens a lot. It doesn't really look like a lobster, and I think I know the reason why. The lobster's legs are usually at the front of his body and not on the tail part. You can see like his leg goes all the way to the back of the lobster. So I'm gonna fix the Lego and I'll show you guys again. Okay, so here's where I am so far, the changes. This was the original lobster and then this is the new one. I kind of kept all the legs to the front part of the body and also kind of defined the tail portion a bit more. This is probably kind of what I'm gonna go for. Alright, I think I'm done fixing the design. This is what the lobsters look like now. It should look better, but we won't actually know until it's printed. But for now, I have to rush out for an appointment and then I'll be back and then we'll print and see how this looks. Okay, I'm finally back home. It's 5 p.m. right now, so the sun is going to set. So I'm just gonna quickly pack up this area and getting all the extra box in the pail because they all have to be rinsed. And I'm gonna pack up these boxes as well. And then we're going to just do a double check that my lines are straight. Then we're gonna get into printing. Hopefully it turns out well this time and I won't need to reset and reprint on another day because we're losing light. So yeah. The two prints drying on the floor. So this was the old one with the little chubby lobster and the legs coming out from the tail, and this is the new one. I think I really like this one and how it turned out. I'm just gonna do another print as the final print because I made some printing errors here. And this is the final piece, this is the showpiece. I think it looks really adorable. I made some little tweaks from the first one. I moved the bubble or the round closer to the seaweed looking things so that it looks more like one unit. And I also moved the one small bubble here closer to the bigger bubbles so that these look like a trail of bubbles. Oh, I moved this tiny one as well, so that it looks like it's coming from the lobster. Oh, and with the change in the legs, I also moved the bigger bubble closer to the seashell. I think overall, like, this makes more sense. The lobster has kind of its own breathing space. Yeah, I like how it turned out and I like the changes that were made. I am going to wait for this to dry, and then what I'm gonna do this month is that I'm actually going to offer digital prints of the print. So I'll still offer the prints, the made to order prints, but I'm also planning to offer some digital prints of this print itself. They'll probably be scaled down. I'm thinking maybe A4. I also want to kind of test out how good my printer can print before I offer that. So I got to settle that over the next 1 week before I launch the prints. So yeah,